Raise your hand if you have been posting consistently over the last week and you are yet to find any real engagement on your page. And when I say real engagement, like it's been like 2 views, 1 like, 0 comments. How frustrating, right? I get it because we're in this together. And so, what I'm doing this week is to actually shift gears because I learned something powerful and I'd like to share that with you. One thing I've come to realize over the last 2 weeks is the fact that posting is not just enough. And I've come to see that play out, day in, day out, right? Especially when I relate with other content. And I think that a missing piece is the fact that we need to shift gears from just posting to building real connections. Because I don't think that just having visibility is going to get us to our end goal, which is to monetize our skill set and build ourselves a six-figure business. I believe that it would be trust. And you can only build trust by building connections. And so this week, that is my focus. I'm going to be shifting gears from just randomly posting to then sharing, my story, sharing, you know, other parts of me that makes people see a different side that gets them more connected to me so that I can build that trust. So I'm hoping that if you're on this journey with me, that you're also shifting gears, most especially if you also notice that your posting is not giving you any kind of real engagements. People are not sending you DMs, people are not dropping comments. It might be the fact that, we need to tweak a few things and allow people to get into our world so they can trust us even more. If this is your first time on this channel, welcome. My name is Adeyinka, and I help working professionals monetize their skill set and build a six-figure business without having to quit their jobs. And I am on this journey with you. Okay. So if you're thinking of monetizing your skill set and you're looking for a step-by-step process, I welcome you on board because I am monetizing my business skill and I'm documenting my journey on this channel. So, hey, come on board. All right. So, one of the things that I've learned is that my posting, even though I successfully posted last week, which was a great win in itself, and I'll never discredit that, I noticed that there was no real engagement on any of those posts. And I think it's important that on a weekly basis, we're doing an audit of the things that we're focusing on to be able to know how to improve, what to stop doing, and what to continue to do. And so, having done a quick review of all of the posts, I noticed that, hey, okay, I'm getting views. I'm getting a few likes, but there's no DM, there's no comment, right? And I started to look at other people that I follow, and I noticed that besides the fact that they have more follower accounts and they've probably been, in the scene for quite a while, I noticed that there is a bit of connection. It feels like I know these people, and I think that it's largely tied to how they share the content that they share. And so, not necessarily about what they're posting about, but how they're posting it. What is the impact of that post? What connection is it building? And how it's leading their audience closer into trusting them. I see some of them sharing behind the scenes of how things are actually getting done. I've seen people share some of the things that are quite different from just teaching, right? So their content is not just all about teaching, it's like bringing you into their world. And I made that connection. I'm like, okay, you know what? I think this week, that is what I'm going to focus on, right? So I have documented some of the things I'm going to be doing this week. So let's get started and let me share that with you so that you know what to do. Okay. So, one of the things I'm going to be doing this week is to focus on less tips and more connections. So, rather than just sharing, tips of how to build structured businesses, rather than just kind of share, strategies on how to scale your business, because I'm monetizing my business skill set. I want to focus on connections, right? Because it's not all rosy for me, right? I have multiple businesses and it's not every day that it's a great day. And I think it's important for people to also realize the struggles that I go through on a day-to-day basis. Like, what is the reality of, you working, you running your business, you being in a different country, and all of that stuff, because even though it's possible, it doesn't mean that it's breezy. It doesn't mean that it's easy. And so I'm looking at shifting my content from just sharing strategies and tips to actually bringing them into my world, right? Because today alone, I could write a book about some of the things I went through from a business perspective today. And so when I think about those things, rather than just keep it to myself and just focus on helping them learn and grow, let me welcome them into my world to know that, hey, some of these things do happen. And I believe that those things will make me more relatable. So we'll see how it goes, okay? But that is my first strategy this week, and that's what I intend to do. Okay. Now, another thing I also noticed is the fact that I'm waiting for people to DM me. I'm waiting for people to write comments. And so, what I'm also going to be doing this week is I'm also going to try to spend time on hashtag that is related to my audience. So, small business owners located in Nigeria. So, I'm going to be going through hashtags like Nigeria, small business owners. So, I can go on different pages to find my target audience to be able to understand what are they talking about, what are they dealing with, and probably start providing certain solutions through comments on their page. So, for example, let's say that someone posts something about a business problem that they have. And if it's something that I can help them with, I'll go ahead and drop a comment. And so yesterday, I spent a good amount of time trying to go through hashtags, but I've not done anything about it. But this week, I am planning to start kicking off those conversations. So rather than just waiting, kick off those conversations, go and look for your target audience using hashtags, see what you can find, see what you can learn about them, help them where they are, right? Because, it's a whole world, in the internet space. You don't know how long it's going to take for them to find you. So I think that it's time for me to get up from my own house and go walk over to my neighbor's house and see how I can be of help to them. So that's the second strategy that I'm going to be using this week. And hopefully it helps me achieve my goal of not just visibility, but engagement. Because we are on an 8-week roadmap leading to our first client, and this is week 3. So we got to do something, quickly. We probably have about 6 weeks to go. So I think it's important that we get intentional about the things that we have to do to help us achieve our goal. So that is what I'll be doing this week. Now, something else that I also learned and I'll be introducing to every of my posts and content is something called CTA, which we know as call to action. And so for every post, I think it's important to welcome people to, drop a comment, to welcome people to send you a message so that people know that, hey, I'm open to receiving your message. I'm open and I'm okay with you sending me a message. I'm okay with you dropping a comment. If you need help based on what I've spoken about, I can give you a free coaching right there. I think that's something else that I've researched. And I noticed that a lot of people who are experienced in this field, that is something that they're doing on, every of their posts. So I'm also going to be incorporating that into my post and making sure that every content has a call to action. And I believe that maybe that would make me more inviting and make people interested in opening up. And, if you drop a powerful content and you have a CTA to go with it, I think that also sends them a message that invites people into your world. All right. So here is a summary of my plan for week 3. Okay. So first thing is I'm going to engage with 5 to 10 people this week. Whether I'm going to drop a message in their comments or whatever it is, I'm going to reach out to 5 to 10 strangers this week. Okay. It's scary, but it's possible and it's doable. So I'm going to go for it. Right. The second thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to make sure that I'm posting a story or a reel that is relatable, right? So either it's going to be behind the scene or some of the struggles that I'm facing in my business. I'm probably going to be doing that this week also. And then I'm going to ensure that, I include CTAs in all of my posting this week. So while I'm still going to stay consistent posting, I'm going to be adding this as extra measures to enforce, engagements and encourage people to kind of reach out so that I can see how to start helping people and prepping to landing my first client. And one thing I've come to realize, ever since starting this journey is every drop is a seed. So even if you don't see the results this week, you will see the results someday. And that's all that matters. So even if it looks like, hey, we don't have comments, we don't have DMs, we have very few views or very few likes, you've still made progress, right? Better than the week before. And even this week, if you come on this strategy with me and use some of the strategies that I would also be using, you find out that, hey, you're in a much better space than you were last week. And I think it's important that we remind ourselves that every drop is important so that we don't get discouraged and we don't give up on our dreams. So don't get discouraged by the fact that you don't have comments on your post, that nobody even liked it. Like it yourself, save it, send it to your friend. Be the first person who does something about it. And that way you're opening up your world for other people to do the same. So stay positive. Don't be discouraged. Don't let those views discourage you because sometimes they could, but stay focused on your goal. And your goal is to monetize your skill set. You're extremely good at this skill, and there's zillion and one people that you could be helping. So stay focused on that goal. Don't give up on that dream, regardless of what it looks like today, because there's light at the end of the tunnel. And that's why I'm actually even documenting my journey. So you don't feel like you're alone, right? So it doesn't look like, okay, I'm the only one in this world is working out for other people. Despite the fact that I've monetized my skill set before and I built myself a coaching business, everything still feels new, right? Now, this time I'm monetizing my business skill and it feels so new. The terrain is so different. Now I'm not working with working professionals. Now I'm working with small business owners. So I'm starting from scratch. And so we're in it together. You're not the only one who doesn't have views. You're not the only one who doesn't have DMs or comments or doesn't have a large following. We are in it together. So let us serve as a hope to one another to know that, hey, as long as she's going, I will keep going and, we will make it. Okay. Because that's one thing I believe that we will make it. All right. Thank you very much once again for spending another amazing time with me in today's episode. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and please help me share this video with other people that you believe share the same dream and also want to monetize their skill set. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.